Hello, welcome to Japan Seikatsu. I'm Ian, and I want to speak to you today about the JET program versus Interac. Let's get started. Today's video has been inspired by a question that I got from Alex that I will read to you now from my prior video. Hey, great video as always. I'm curious if you have any thoughts on JET versus Interac. As someone who has applied to JET in the last 2 years and failed to make it on, I finally decided to apply to Interac and was accepted, and honestly, I'm thrilled. I came to realize that perhaps JET was not for me, but I could have similar experiences and opportunities through Interac, so I was curious on your thoughts on it. Thanks as always. Well, Alex, first of all, thank you very much for your kind words and congratulations. That's wonderful news that you will soon be starting your journey to Japan. Congratulations on getting accepted to Interac. So for today's video, I want to give very brief background. I was on the JET program for 3 years in Shikoku. So I can speak to my experience on the JET program, and I can speak about teaching English as a second language. I do have that perspective, but I did not work for Interac. So I would highly recommend looking at YouTube videos about Interac from people that were actually or are actually on the program. And doing research for this video, I found some great videos that I will share in the link below. Also, again, Alex's comment and question came on the video I did, which was a JET program review 10 years out. So if you're curious about the JET program and curious about what somebody thinks about it 10 years after having started the program, I will provide a link down below to my 10-year review. Please do take a look. Okay, now the question is framed with JET program versus Interac. And first, I will speak to some of the differences, some of the similarities to the program. But I would suggest that viewing it with that framing of JET versus Interac could be a bit limiting, and I will go into details as why. But I think you'll find that it doesn't have to be an either or with these two programs. So from my research and from my experience in the JET program, some quick similarities and differences. Well, first of all, on Interac, you can get a second job if you'd like. On the JET program, you can't get a second job. So that's a positive. You've got more flexibility. If you develop a good relationship with an individual that wants to learn English from you, or maybe they want to have you teach English to their family, you're free to do that with Interac. You're not free to do that for money on the JET program. Secondly, there's no weekend work on both of these jobs. So if you like working Monday through Friday, these are both Monday through Friday. More normal working hours, not doing late nights, not doing weekends, which for me was a positive and may as well be for you. Benefit to Interact is a shorter and more frequent interview process. So for Interact, you can apply, I believe it's twice a year, and I believe the process while still fairly intense, is shorter than the JET program. A little bit of an exaggeration, but the JET program really does feel like the application consumes an entire year, and there's only one shot a year. So, I mean, the mail gets lost, or you're a bit late on hitting that submit button, you got to wait a whole nother year. So it's nice, a little bit more flexibility there with Interac. Okay, another thing that was interesting in the research was for Interac, usually when it's a school holiday, it's a holiday for you. So on the JET program, during summer vacation, you were most often expected to still come into the office. Even if there wasn't a whole lot for you to do, you were expected to come in the office. So I think there's a possibility that you're getting maybe significantly more vacation on Interac. Okay, city versus countryside. I lived in the deep, deep countryside in Tokushima, Ken. I loved it. I think that's very common on the JET program. You're going to be placed in the countryside most often, not always, but often, where it seems to be the inverse with Interac, much higher chance that you're going to end up in the city. So if you like cities, Interac is going to be a better option for you. Also, I note that there appears to be very good training with some of the feedback I kept hearing, and that it's improved over the last 5 years. So I think that's a plus for both programs. JET program, Interac, you're going to get good training, and you're going to get ongoing training. Now, one of the negatives that came up was a lower salary. So for Interac, salary for ALT ranges from 2.4 million to 2.7 million yen per year. The JET program ranges from 3.3 million to 3.96 million. Still not bad. You're still going to be a millionaire. You're making over 1 million yen a year in either case, so not that bad. But it is a difference. Now, one calculation that would be interesting to do is really take the full amount of holidays that you get on the JET program that are truly holidays that you don't have to come in the office. Take the full amount of holidays that you get on Interac and then kind of prorate it to see how much are you making for each day of work, and maybe there's not as much a difference there. Also, from somebody that was on the JET program, there was times when you want to go to the big city. So I would go from Tokushima out to Osaka with friends for a weekend or long weekend, and you need to get the bus out there, and you need to stay in a hotel. Or we would go to Hiroshima, or maybe you want to go to Tokyo. So there's costs involved in that if you're already in the city or close to that city, you don't need to incur. Another interesting thing was I heard some feedback that Interac will help pay for your car, help pay for somebody's bicycle. That was not the case in the JET program. You needed to pay for the car or for the bicycle. There was support from the Kyokuin-kai, the Board of Education, for gas to get to your schools, at least at my where I worked. But some interesting food for thought there on this JET versus Interac consideration. Now, having said that, my 10-year review on the JET program looked at 4 areas of impact. What was I thinking 10 years after the program? What did that program give to me? What skills did I take away that enriched my life, that allowed me to have the career that I do today? And it was 4 areas. One, this was looking at the JET program. Did it provide a Japanese language foundation? 2, did it provide an expanded network of colleagues and friends? 3, did it provide internationalization opportunities for myself, for others, for me to learn about others, the culture of others, and to learn, and for them to learn about the culture that I came from? And 4, did it provide me with an understanding of Japanese culture? The answer to all 4 of those categories was yes, 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 yes. I think if you view Interac through the same exact lens, you will see that the answer is probably going to be yes, yes, yes. So I wouldn't view it as it's either JET or Interac. If you're trying to catch fish, you want to throw as many lines as possible. And if JET comes out of the water, boom, you do JET. If Interac comes out of the water, you're doing Interac. But either way, if your ultimate goal, if you're passionate about Japan, if you're passionate about learning Japanese, my recommendation is you just need to get to Japan. That's the fastest way to learn Japanese. It's the fastest way to start developing a career in Japan, a career connected to Japan. And both of these programs, JET program and Interac, can provide that opportunity, can provide that bridge, can provide that visa. So, and one more thing about the salary, because I do think that sometimes we get focused on the short term too much. this job has a slightly higher salary, this job a slightly lower salary. If you take a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old individual that has a career that they find rewarding, that they're passionate about, that they've built up over decades, do you think that they are thinking back to the 1970s when they took their first job or their second job and maybe the salary at company A was $50 more than the salary at company B per month or something like that? It's just immaterial. I mean, over long periods of time, what you're really left with is not that slightly more or less that you made, but it's going to be things like the Japanese language or a greater understanding of different cultures, an ability to communicate with people from around the world. And these assets you can equally take away from both programs. So, Alex, I thank you for your question. Very exciting news. Congratulations. I wish you the best of luck on this next chapter in your life. If we have anybody that's in the audience that has been on the JET program or has done Interac or has done both, please do share your comments in the section below to benefit the community here. And as always, if you have any questions, please do ask below. Make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you like, so that we can continue to build the community of Japan Seikatsu, which is a community of people that are passionate and interested in everything related to Japan. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Bye.